What's going on, all my toy collectors and Street Fighter fans out there? You know who it is. It's your boy Ox, and welcome to the Cave of Wonders. Now today we're going to be taking a look at the Street Fighter 2 Ken figure by Jada Toys. Let's go ahead and get into it. Now I've already measured the box up for you guys. It's actually 6 inches long by 8.5 inches tall by 4 inches in depth, okay? So that's how much shelf space you're going to need when you're going to be displaying this. Let's go ahead and take a look at the front of the box real quick. You guys can see Ken right there, just like how he looked in the video game, if you guys remember, if you guys ever played that game. Like I said, this is from Street Fighter 2 Ultra, the final challenger. This is the side artwork right here, kind of just like an arcade cabinet, basically. You look at the side of an arcade cabinet right there. This right here just lets you know a little bit about Ken right here, the country of origin. He's from the USA. His fighting style is rooted in... And I don't know how to pronounce that name, but you guys can go ahead and pronounce it if you want. On the back, you guys can see the character right there. And you guys can see some other figures that are going to be releasing pretty soon. Other characters that were in that Street Fighter 2 video game right there. Like I said, we already looked at Ryu. We already looked at Chun-Li. I know he's in stores, Fei Long right there. And like I said, I know there's some other characters have been announced. I think, like I said, Blanca, Ryu, and I think Bison have been announced. Maybe even him. I'm not really for sure. But I know there's some other characters who have been announced. But yeah, let's go ahead and pop him out of the box. Okay, now here's Ken out of the box. You guys can see it comes with the figure. It comes with an extra head sculpt, 2 extra set of hands, energy ball effect, and then a little stand that ends up holding that energy effect, okay? Now I've already measured Ken out for you guys. He measured out to 6 1/4, and I'll show you guys how he compares in scale to the other figures that we looked at a month or so ago or 2 months ago, okay? Now let's start off by looking at his extra head sculpt. You can see right here he kind of has that smirk, like a menacing look right there. Right here, this is his like more angry fighting face right here. And you guys just pop this on. And I'll go ahead and swap that out for you guys later. Yep, his hair, it is not really hard, so you guys can kind of move it if you guys need to a little bit. So it shouldn't be any trouble getting his head on. Let's go ahead and take a look at those extra hands. You can see out of the box, he has 2 closed fists. And just like Ryu, he has these 2 like karate hands, basically. And you're basically going to put them together like that, you know, shooting that flame ball effect, you know, when you're, you know, putting that flame ball effect in front of him, okay? And then this right here is the little stand. It comes in 2 pieces, this piece right here, and then this little flat base. And then you guys just find the octagon shape. You can just slide that in there just like that. And this thing does articulate right here and right here. That way you guys can have that flame effect any way that you guys want, or that energy effect any way you guys want, okay? This right here is the same. Like I said, I think this is the same one that ended up coming with Ryu. You guys can see the hands inside the energy ball right there in case you guys are having it facing this way, kind of pointing at you. Because to the side, you'll be able to see his hands. But right here, you guys can actually see the hands inside of there. And I think that's pretty cool. Now, it does have a little hole right there, a little hexagon hole. And that right there is where this ends up hooking into. You guys just squish that on. And then you guys can either have this in front of him, looking like he's, you know, shooting it away. But like I said, you guys can adjust it and articulate it any way you guys want, all right? Let's move this out the way. And before we get to the figure, let's look at my really cool hat real quick. My Street Fighter hat, showing my boy Guile and Bison fighting right there. Street Fighter! I always like to show off my hats, man, because I'm a huge hat collector, man. So, got to show my hat some love, man, whenever I can. Now, as you guys can see, the box right here, if you guys just cut the bottom of it, you guys can just slide the plastic out, cut the figure out, and you guys can keep this box if you guys want. Maybe use it for some of your other action figures to act like they're playing an arcade machine, or possibly pose them whatever way you guys want inside of here, and sit these up and use these boxes as displays for your figures. These are really cool boxes, so it might be kind of hard to, for me to throw them away, but you know, if you guys don't care about them, go ahead and toss them, but I think they're pretty cool. Now let's go ahead and take a look at him. Like I said, I already measured him out for you guys. He came out to 6 1/4. And he's an awesome looking figure. I love it that Jada Toys, you know, got this license, because so far from what I've seen from these 3 figures, they look really awesome. The plastic doesn't, you know, the joints aren't all cheap and flimsy like I feel like they are with like the Jack Specifics brand of like Sonic figures and stuff, to where like it's kind of hard to get those figures to stay standing up. They just tip over. But I think Jada Toys did a really good job with these figures, man. Like I said, some of the plastic, you know, feels thinner, like kind of rubbery or whatever. But it, I like it that it feels like that with this stuff right here, with the loose stuff. That way you guys don't have any trouble kicking up the legs or anything like that. Even with the hair, that way he can, bend his head and move his, head any way he wants. But other than that, all this plastic right here feels nice and hard. No issues there, okay? It actually feels kind of textured. They make it kind of feel like skin, where you can see like the little veins right there in his arms and stuff. Can you guys see that? All the little veins and everything. So I like the way his skin kind of feels textury, on top of all the little extra paint work they did and shading that they did to show off all of his muscles and everything. Now, like I said, he's just wearing this little red, I don't know what it's called, robe, basically, karate robe. But other than that, man, that's all the extra color that there is there, besides his skin tone and the brown on his gloves and his yellowish blonde hair. All right. Now let's quickly go over his articulation real fast. You guys can see that his neck, it does look like it does articulate. You guys might have to like hold it, but his neck does go side to side if you guys need it to. On top of his head, it does rotate back and forth. His hair doesn't hinder his articulation at all. He does look up. Oh, pop that off real quick. Get that back on. His head does go up about that far right there. He does look down pretty far as well, so he has no issues right there in his neck. His arms do come up. They do rotate. He does have bicep swivel. Does have double jointed elbows. His wrists do rotate around. They do go in. They do go out. So this thing is packed with articulation. I love the way it looks. He does have upper torso articulation. Does rock side to side. It does spin. This right here does kind of hinder his articulation in his body, but this is not actually hooked to him. So keep that in mind if you guys want to maybe pop off his head and his arms. If you guys can actually pop this off and maybe show him shirtless if you guys wanted to, okay? Now his waist does rotate as well. Look up here, you guys can see his legs do kick up really far, so getting him in them action poses and ninja poses shouldn't be an issue at all. He does have thigh swivel right there, does have double jointed knees. And something I think that is really cool, his feet actually do rotate side to side all the way around if you guys need them to. Sometimes I see with like Marvel Legends and DC Multiverse where one will have rotation right here but won't have rotation in the foot. Or one will have rotation in the foot and won't have rotation up there or right here in the calf muscle. So I think it's pretty cool that they do rotate in both areas, okay? His feet do go down, do go up, do rock side to side if you guys need them to. So this thing is packed with tons of articulation. So I'm not going to see any issues, getting him in, like I said, all the poses that you guys are going to want to get him into. Now let's go ahead and swap out his head, and I'll show you guys what that energy effect looks like once I swap out his hands as well, okay? Okay, now here he is. I swapped out his head and his hands. You can see he has the ninja hands on that he comes with, and he has his like more angry face rather than that more smirking one that he was just having on right there. And then this right here is his little energy effect right here that he shoots out of his hands. And like I said, you guys can have that on that little clear stand that it comes with, looking like it's shooting out. And like I said, if you guys look at it shooting out right here, you guys can actually see the hands in there. So you guys can articulate the hands to make it look like his hands are missing right there and that they're shooting out right here, okay? Yeah, kind of put that in front of him just like that if you guys want. Right? Or possibly have him maybe like, standing looking like he's kicking. And from the side, you can't really see those hands in there. So you guys can look like he's doing like some kind of like a power kick or something like that. But yeah, this is pretty cool right here if you guys want to use those to display. Okay, now here's a comparison of him standing next to Chun-Li and Ryu right here. Like I said, there is another figure that was already released, which is Fei Long from the first wave. I just didn't end up getting him, okay? But yeah, these are all the figures I have so far from Jada Toys from the Street Fighter collection that they've been releasing. Like I said, there's other figures coming soon. I think you guys can... if you guys want to see what they look like, you guys just maybe look up Jada Toys Street Fighter figures and you guys will see some of the new releases that are coming, supposed to be coming this year, okay? But yeah, awesome looking figure, man. I'm loving what Jada Toys is doing. I did forget to mention one point of articulation, which I couldn't see because his little robe is on. You guys, he actually has butterfly joints right there. There you go. I just couldn't end up seeing him because his like I think his guillotine or whatever this thing is called was kind of blocking that right there. But like I said, I think if you guys want to take this off, it isn't glued to his chest or his back or anything like that. So if you guys are able to pop the arms off and just pop the head off, you guys can probably take this off if you guys want to. But yeah, as far as scaling goes, they all scale really well together. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. And until next time, stay cool.